Topping today's news, the Office of the Prime Minister announcing new cabinet portfolios. The country records its 108th murder as a man is shot dead off Burnett Road. The Chief of Police defends recent promotions within the police force. And we hear from JCN's Person of the Year 2023, Sir Franklin Wilson. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jareno Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. Prime Minister Philip Davis has announced changes to the Cabinet of the Bahamas that will come into effect on January 2nd. Miles Laroda, the Member of Parliament for Pinewood Gardens, will be promoted to Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, taking over from the late Minister Obi Wilchcombe. Meanwhile, Leon Lundy is now promoted from Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister. The new Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, is the new Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry for Grand Bahama. Another homicide here in the capital as police are investigating, aggressively searching for the individuals responsible for shooting and killing a male on Wednesday, December 27th. Police say shortly before 2 p.m. they were alerted via its shot spotter technology of the incident, which took place on Monastery Street off Burnett Road, just on the edge of Monastery Park subdivision. Upon arrival on the scene, officers discovered an unresponsive male wearing a blue shirt and a blue pants with multiple gunshot injuries to the body. It is reported that the victim was in the area of Monk Close when occupants of a gray Nissan Note opened fire on him. The victim was examined by emergency medical services personnel who confirmed no visible or vital signs of life. The police are appealing to members of the public who may have any information that can assist with the advancement of their investigation into this matter to contact Crime Stoppers. You can do that anonymously at 328-TIPS, 328-8477. This is the 108th murder for the year. Last year, there were 128 murders on record. Police on the island of Bimini are investigating the circumstances surrounding a drowning incident that claimed the life of a 55-year-old male from Pensacola, Florida, a cruise ship passenger. The incident reportedly occurred around noon on Wednesday, December 27th. Initial reports revealed that the victim, a cruise ship passenger, was swimming on Radio Beach along with a family member when the family member lost sight of the victim and later discovered him unresponsive on the shoreline. The victim was administered CPR on the scene and was subsequently transported to the local clinic where he was examined by the medical doctor who declared having no signs of life. This year, there have been several drownings involving visitors to the islands, including a drowning death of a 4-year-old girl on Abaco on November 18th. Meanwhile, investigations continue into this latest matter. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando defending the recent promotional exercises of over 100 officers, including 10 senior police officers who were promoted to Assistant Commissioners of Police earlier this month. The top cop telling reporters that the promotion of those officers were justifiable.
I was able to justify the amount of officers that were promoted to the board, and we want effective management at the division. We got a black eye in social media in recent times where you saw 2 young officers was engaged in some altercation at the station, and there was lack of supervision at those divisions. What you will see now, an Assistant Commissioner of Police is in charge of 2 stations, and we will have a command structure across the board. You will see that. So I think the promotion went very well.
To meet the growing demand on the Family Islands, Commissioner Fernando says a similar exercise is expected to be carried out on those very same Family Islands.
When you look at the family of islands, like Exuma, Lutra, Abaco, where there is growing, we are even looking at trying to identify assistant commissioners to man those areas, because the family of islands, they are growing, the economy is doing well, and we are looking for safety across the board, not only in New Providence, but the family of islands.
Among the list of newly promoted Assistant Commissioners of Police is Shanta Knowles, who becomes the first woman appointed as head of the Criminal Investigations Department for the Northern Bahamas, which includes Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, and the Berry Islands. And finally, in this segment, Chairman of Sunshine Holding Group of Companies, Sir Franklin Wilson, has been named Jones Communications Network Person of the Year, an award that highlights the hard work and dedication to making a difference in one's society. Sir Franklin says he is humbled to have received this award.
Relevant to my receipt of the telephone call that Jones Communications had decided to extend this great honor to me, I was both surprised and humbled. My first thought was to congratulate Jones Communication on this wonderful initiative, and in particular the fact that they've been doing it for so long. See, in our country we have this habit of things starting and they're not continuing. The fact is, Jones Communications has been doing this for a long time, and the fact that you've extended this honor to such outstanding citizens of our country, for me to be included in that group is quite an honor.
Sir Franklin highlights that national development starts with the individual person.
For us, it's not so much about just doing things, but trying to reflect values. We believe very deeply in the concept of national development. We believe very deeply in the idea that national development requires individual citizens who try to do things to help build the common good. I happen to be a member of the Anglican faith, and whenever I go to Mass, there's a passage that says, help us do the things that make for peace and build up the common good. So whatever I do that helps in either of those two respects, that's it, and other people make the judgment.
With the new year upon us, Sir Franklin says that he will continue to be an instrument in getting things done for the Bahamas and for Bahamian people.
You know, in these things, firstly, I don't see myself as building things. I see myself as an instrument of a more powerful force. I call it God. God continues to order my steps where I have an opportunity to do certain things that I enjoy doing, some of which bring benefits to third parties. And I do have some thoughts which, by God's grace, I think if I can do them, will meet that criteria. As a matter of fact, I say to people who are my age and older, don't stop.
The Jcn News team congratulating Sir Franklin Wilson on receiving the Jones Communications Network Person of the Year Award. Last year's recipient was businessman Anthony Ferguson. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.